Okay. Following morning, you are surprisingly awoken by, guess what? The sound of the town. As everybody outside is bustling and chit-chatting and going about their daily routines. But you all do get a pretty good night's sleep. The beds are extremely comfortable. Radovan, when he wakes up, obviously you've got to do your prayers to St. Cuthbert.
Yep.
Kia, Liana, you're doing your...
I pray to no one.
That's right.
I would have gone...
You're just kind of focusing your abilities and...
I would have gone downstairs and
ready.
ordered breakfast to be brought up to my cohort's rooms.
For everybody?
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, sweet. What a
See
nice
how cordial
young
she is?
lady.
Y'all are so mean to her. And she's just nothing but nice to you people.
Aww.
I offer when I leave my room when the food arrives, right? And I go to Race's door and knock.
Right. Well, the first thing you notice is the server is entirely different. Instead of the buxom but not quite so pretty lass with the brown hair, Sally, that was giving you such a hard time, is a young blonde-haired girl. She's
Hello.
she is, in fact, she's probably in her very early 20s, but she is extremely pretty. As she kind of curtsies at the door, your breakfast, sir.
Thank you. Come in, please.
Creepy!
I've got to deliver these to the
Come
guest
here,
next door.
Clarice.
And she kind of like blushes bright red, but then she's like flirting, like batting her eyelids at you a little bit. As she kind of scuffles next door and knocks on Kia's door.
I poke my head out the door
Yeah,
and
open.
watch.
Okay. She's kind of like watching you and then like glancing backwards and forwards at Kia. Your breakfast, ma'am. And smiling at you.
Stare at her and look over at Radovan and like, make a very disgusting face, like, thank you. And then I take it, close the door.
Okay, and then she moves along to Racia's door, taps on her door. Is that breakfast?
Answer, thank her very
Breakfast, ma'am.
much.
She hands you that, and still, like, even at your door, she's really not looking or paying any attention to you. She's just like, and she's busy staring down the hallway. Okay, as she kind of,
Ain't nobody got time for that.
ain't nobody got time for that. As she kind of turns and heads back, she like gets really like awkwardly close to Radovan as she goes by, and she like slows right down, flips her hair, and then like swooshes past him like with holding one side of her skirt, almost like some kind of flamboyant gesture.
Oh wait, where are you going? Hold up.
She says, "Well,
Hold up, yo." That's how I do my pickup lines, guys. All right.
Yeah,
I know
yo,
you, like,
yo,
want to
hold
see
up.
my cudgel. Okay, I say hold up.
She stops. She says, unfortunately, she says, I'll get fired if I take too long. She said, but I'll be off at noon."
Noon, eh? Okay. What's your name?
I'm gonna come up with my plate of food to Radovan's door as he's talking, and just kind of look at him like I'm waiting for him to like do his blessing thing.
This
That's
is
my
literally-
food, bitch.
This is literally what I do.
Yada yada yada.
Hartford, yeah.
Whatever.
Cuthbert, there we go, yeah.
Bless this food for the nourishment. Yeah, whatever. It's good. Go.
It's
okay.
good, you're good.
She kind of looks at you. She says, my name's Cassandra, but everybody calls me Cass.
Cass, eh? Okay. Well, noon, I'll see you around, I guess.
Okay, she kind of like and flips out,
What?
flips down the stairs.
Sounds like a gerbil. What the hell? All right.
Okay, so she kind of Sandra. Every step she takes, though, she's still looking back behind her to stare at the. I mean, Radovan is a pretty good-looking guy. You guys might not think so, but I mean, he's
Let's see
He's up
elves in
there.
him. They don't know any better, you know.
he's. I mean, he's a pretty big, strong, huge brute of a dude. I mean, he's like 6'3" tall. His charisma's 14, so he's pretty up there. He can turn the odd eye.
Yeah, the same charisma. I'm not impressed.
Yeah, you're an equal with Jadavana. That's it. But you're an elf. He doesn't find your sharp features attractive at all.
Nope.
Okay, so she wanders off, and you guys are standing there with your breakfast.
I bless it more earnestly. My own.
Right. Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
And I actually forgot to go out and get it blessed. I already started eating.
Okay, so you've scoffed your food down. You've blessed
More
yours.
annoyed at
Racia kind of, sort of, maybe has blessed food. Who knows?
It's a little bit blessed, you know.
It's a little
It's
bit
half
blessed.
It's a little
okay,
bit
guys?
blessed.
There was a little bit of magic behind the.
Yeah, that's half blessed. We're good.
Right, there you go. So, okay, you have your breakfast. As I said, it's the next day. Ashland Maine allegedly is coming back today. Who is the reason you're here?
I think our mission should be to find him.
Okay.
Yeah.
They said he lived in a tower, so I assume if we find the tower in the village, we will probably find his location.
Yeah, let's do it. I agree. Let's find this bastard.
Okay, so what are you guys going to do? Just kind of wander the town?
Well, if
Just
it's a
looking for
tower,
it?
shouldn't we see it from wherever we are?
I mean, if you're actually going to look at all the buildings and try to peruse and see if you can see anything that stands out, it's not hard to
Yes.
see. Yes,
I'm guessing
Yeah,
it's in the
it's-
northeast corner.
that's the one.
That's
Yeah.
a big freaking tower. Yeah.
Just bear in mind, of course, your characters don't actually have this map in their hands, right? This is a visual
Yeah.
representation.
Oh.
Yeah, but from where
Walk
we
out of the
are,
front,
But from
It's
where
like
you
down
guys
the
are,
street.
once you're out
we
in the
should be able
open,
to see it.
yeah, like from here, anywhere around, a fairly open area, as long as you don't have a building directly blocking your view, it's not hard to see in the distance.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, the impressive tower structure looks almost out of place. Its polished sandstone walls are clearly newer than any stone construction here in the town, much newer than any of the other buildings. It has an ornate and elaborately carved door indicating someone of probable wealth or status may live here. But of course, you guys already know that this is where Ashland Maine, the quote-unquote wizard, is supposed to live.
Right.
Suppose we should knock on the door.
Ranavan, would you like to
Hey.
do the honors?
Nope. This is a wizard. You look the part. I'm gonna stand by this adjacent building.
Jeez. All right,
observe.
I step up and
Okay, you're gonna bang on the door.
knock.
It's got like one of those big gargoyle-type brass knockers that you're like. You do so. Couple of minutes pass, no answer whatsoever.
He must not be back yet. I turn.
I mean,
and
it
say,
is still very early. He didn't say what time he'd be back.
What should we do?
I'm gonna go to south along this road. I imagine it looks like I'm gonna go toward the crossroads. That's another gate. Is it, or can I
Yes.
not see it?
Well, basically, as you wander down there, you'll see you'll see people coming in and out through the wall, so you'll know that there's a gate down there. Yeah, there's obviously an entrance and exit.
I'm gonna talk to the guard at the gate, or one of the guards at the gate.
Okay, so you're gonna do that. Kia, what do you want to do? You gonna go with him, or you want to?
No, I'm gonna just sit down on the steps of this tower and just wait for a little bit.
Okay, alrighty. And what about you, Racia?
Same thing. I'm staying with Kia.
Okay, so you two are
I'm
gonna
gonna
sit
let
there.
Cal out to explore the town
Okay.
and just keep a tab on how Cal's feeling once in a while.
Okay. Cal seems fine. I mean, he's not deterred. He doesn't seem to have any ill feelings about the town or anything that's been going on. Being that it is a busy town, I mean, there's plenty of mice for him to chase and things like that.
Yes.
So if you let him out, he's a young cat. He goes off and does his cat-like entertaining things, chases the odd mouse, licks himself inappropriately, stuff like that. So, Radavan, you go down to the southern gate. Once you get there, much like the first gate where you came in, there's 4 guards. It seems a lot more busy as people are coming and going, and they're harassing everybody, but not in a meaningful way. It's just what are you bringing into the town? Oh, okay, you're bringing in, you're bringing in grain. That's fine. In you go. Anybody that just answers them plainly, they don't really give them any hard time. So once you get down there, you want to talk to these guys, huh? What do you want to say?
Yeah. Hail there, friend.
He
I
says,
say to the nearest one.
right, he kind of looks at you and says, yes, excuse me, Father. What can I do for you?
The mage. I'm pretty sure he's not back yet, but I heard he was going to return today.
The mage. The wizard.
Yeah, the wizard, mage, whatever.
Yeah, Ashlyn
It's all
Main.
the same to me.
Yes.
Yes.
Is he? I don't know. I didn't know that he left.
Oh. So he doesn't leave via your gate?
Well, sometimes he does. But it shifts. We don't stand here all day, every day, 24/7.
Well, when he does leave, which way does he usually go?
Depends where he's going.
I
I
want to know which way to
suppose.
expect him from. That's what I'm going.
Honestly, I couldn't tell you. Sometimes he goes out this gate. Sometimes he doesn't.
Does any of the other three guards know?
Ask him. I don't know.
So I go to.
Any of you here when Ashlyn Main left? Right, one guard says, I was. He said, left yesterday morning, said he'd be back sometime today.
From this gate or from the north?
He goes, he came this way.
What's out there?
He said, well, if you head this way, he said it heads out heads out towards the Great Lakes and stuff like that. He said, but I don't know what wizards get up to. He said, but he rode out of here on his horse early yesterday morning. When he's gone, he usually only gone a day or two. He never usually stays away long.
So there's nothing. Is there anything of note out there except just lakes and stuff? Like any buildings or establishments?
He said there's villages, towns. He goes, of course, depends on how far you go. He said, but as long as he's gone, he might just make it. He said on a horseback, might make it to the closest village and back in a day, but that's about it.
I'm gonna do knowledge check
for
the local knowledge check. Yeah. I want to see if I'm aware of any like importance out there, like why he would be gone, just by my own personal knowledge. So would it be a local or a geography?
No, it would be local knowledge. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a local knowledge check.
All righty.
See if I know anything.
Right ahead, and let me just change it to this screen here. All right, go right ahead.
Okay.
All right, it's at 15.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, if he stays on the main road, there's really no major towns or establishments for at least 3 days on the cart, which would be about a full day on horseback. And the closest, it's a small farming community called Dam Mills from here. He would have had to have gone, if he went to the lakes, he'd have had to have gone northeast. But that would have not gone across any major roads or whatever. He'd have had to have gone across open ground. But there's an awful lot of open territory out there. Who the hell knows where he may have gone or what he might have gone up to.
Okay.
But I mean, there's nothing of any real importance that comes to mind for you.
Okay. I thank the guards and return back to the tower to Reza and Kia.
Okay.
And shrug and say, nothing. Got nothing.
Cassandra. Ranavan loves Cassandra. Okay, so you go back to them. They're still waiting patiently on the steps. Yep. Like some kind of disciples waiting for their master to come back.
Oh, gosh.
Oh.
He's back! Yay!
Okay, so yeah,
I stand up and I say, find anything? Talk to anybody?
I was just trying to ascertain where this mage leads down from. I got nothing. Nothing. And I sigh and look longingly at the tavern down the road.
Oh.
Alrighty.
Are you serious?
I
know what you're thinking.
It's Radovan is thinking of the bottle again, isn't he? Yes.
I don't think he's thinking a little bit more than that this time.
Yeah, he's looking up at the sun, trying to figure out, is it noon yet? How long do you guys want to wait here on the steps?
He's our only reason for being in town.
Realistically, yeah.
So...
And I definitely don't want to run into those other two priests, because I hated them.
You didn't like them?
I don't really want to wander.
Okay, so you guys are going to pretty
I'm
much
very
stay here.
content.
You're going to kind of hang around here hoping that he shows up soon. Ranavan?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
I mean,
Well, about a couple of hours later...
It's a big patty cake.
patty cake. There you go. Pass the time. Right, a couple of hours later, you hear someone bellowing from above you. Like,
Oh.
it's actually coming from upstairs of the tower.
What?
You hear, "What pray
Oh.
brings an elf, a half-blood, and a priest to the priest of the cudgel to my door?"
I immediately stand up.
Okay.
Are you in there?
And you can see basically a guy is kind of staring down at you. He's probably in his mid to late 40s. He's clean shaven, but he's got kind of graying brown hair. And he's just kind of leaning out, glaring down at you from the top of the tower.
I would like to say, sir, we seek your knowledge.
And he says, "Yeah, you and everybody else in this town."
This is important, sir.
Lord of the Rings
Hi.
time. He says, "It's always important." He says,
What's the name of the blind or the deaf guy again?
"Does anything remember?"
I don't remember, man. I just shake my head and look again at the tavern.
Rudiment,
Leave it to you guys.
right?
Who?
Rudiment?
Farfin Schmuglin, I don't know.
Rudiment
says-
sent us. I yell out, hoping that's the right name.
Rudiman? He said, "I've got no clue who that is."
Dang it.
He said, "Still." He said, "It's not very often that I see elves here." He said, "Especially not in the presence of a priest of St. Cuthbert." Hold on a moment.
Circumstances, man. Extenuating circumstances.
Okay, he goes back inside the building, shuts the window, and you hear a loud clunk and like what sounds like cogs going clink, 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 and then a heavy device or something locking in place. Like the door at that point opens by itself. Inside, it's like a very well lit and ornate tower. And there seems to be like a cage suspended from a giant chain that's hanging from the ceiling. And the gate is open. From the very top, you hear him yelling, "Well, don't stand there. Come in."
I
This
walk
time
in
I'm going to be
mostly
the first
looking
one
up.
through the door.
Okay.
Nice. Do it.
I'm the last this time. You kidding me?
So
I don't
basically-
like
Guess I'm in the middle.
I
It looks like
immediately
he's-
don't like this. With
He's
the
beckoning
locks.
you to come into the cage. He's like, "Well, get in there then." He said, "Unless you feel like climbing this rope or climbing this chain to the top of the tower."
Ooh.
Um,
It's a strange device, sir.
He said, "Yes, I call it an inlifter. I invented it. You climb inside," he said, "I crank the cogs and it inlifts you to the top of my tower."
Why
Quite
don't you do
ingenious,
it
really.
first?
Because I'm up the top. Why do I want to come up to the top of the tower when I'm already at the top floor?
Oh.
Are you really here to waste my time?
Racia?
I'm
Why don't
going
you go ahead and go
to-
first?
How big?
I just
how
don't
big
want to
is
go
this?
first.
Can it hold all three of us at once, or are we gonna have to go one?
Oh no, this thing is big. I mean, you could fit 4 or 5 people in here.
oh, to
And
hell
it's
with
just
this.
like a.
Can I
Like
do
jail-
a
jail
sense
bars?
motive check?
You can, but you're going to need probably at least a 22 or 23. It's hard to sense someone's motive when all you're hearing is him
I'm
yelling
gonna-
at you.
Go for it anyway, you know. I got
All
a pretty
right.
high one.
Go ahead, sense motive. See if you can sense if there's anything agenda behind this
Dang.
guy. It's just too hard. I mean, he's towering multiple floors above you, just echoing instructions down to you. You sense that he's getting pretty impatient.
Oh,
So it's a floor with open sides, like jail bars.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to grab onto the outside and stick my feet on the inside and hang on.
Okay.
nice. I'm
All right,
gonna just
I
suck
just
my breath in
entered.
and walk right in. Since Racy is on the outside, she'll save me.
Okay.
Yep, I follow Kia in.
Right. As soon as you do that,
You're very
once you're
smart.
in there, the gate of the gate of the cage slides down, not particularly fast. So if any of you decide you want to leap out at the last minute, you have time. kind of clink, 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 and it drops. Okay. At that point, it kind of goes, and it kind of lifts, and it's going up in like jerks, like, and each time you kind of go up a little further. It like drops down like about half a foot and then goes up 3 foot, then drops like half a foot and goes up 3 foot. Like someone's up there cranking some kind of lever. Okay, as you're going up, you notice, Racia, you're aware that you're coming to the end of this first floor, and it looks like this chain-pulled cage pretty much fits rather snugly through the square hole.
Oh, no.
Doesn't look like it leaves a lot of room for you to be hanging on the side. Like, you know, here's the floor, and as the cage kind of comes up, you're going to kind of get brushed off and pushed down to the bottom. So you really
Climb on top.
You can either scramble on top, swing yourself underneath and hang on like this, or you can try to lift up the gate and punch through. Jason Lee, thank you for the follow, my friend.
Can I just like move over?
There's not room.
Or two, or
There's
to the other side?
It's like, if you could imagine like a square hole in the ceiling, and this cage like fits directly through it, nice and neat and tight. So like,
Just
there's
think
no
of what
room for
Radovan
you.
wants to do.
There's no room for you to cling
okay.
to the side. So you've
What?
either got to get under it, on top of it, or in it, or it's going to just kind of brush you off as you get pulled up through the ceiling.
Yo, that was messed up. But
What do you want to do?
That was very messed up. It's a good visual for
It was
her.
Okay,
good,
you have very little time to decide because the ceiling is coming extremely fast.
Okay, I would like to... And I can't just jump or swing to the floor.
You could let go, and it's only about a 10-foot drop.
No, I mean like as the floor is coming up. Like
No,
can
well,
I like jump?
not
Just
unless
what-
you were. No, you'd have to be on top of the cage to do that.
Okay. Let's jump on top then.
All right. So you want? Okay, make a climb check, and see how quickly you can scrabble yourself up there.
We don't want Racia to get sliced in half.
Well, I mean, she can let go and just drop to the
I
floor.
know.
It's not going to kill her, but it'll be
Nice and
awkward.
graphic.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
You're scrabbling. You're
boy.
scrabbling to try to get on the top. As you do so, you're suddenly aware, like half your body is up, and you realize if you keep trying, the ceiling is going to like cut you in half. So you have to like slide down the bars. So at this point, you can either try to swing underneath it, or you can drop down.
Swing underneath.
Okay. Alrighty. In that case, then make a straight dexterity check for me.
A what?
Straight dexterity. So you're going to make your dex check. So it'd be d20 plus 3 in your case.
D20 plus 3 and what?
In your case. Because you're at plus 3. So d20 plus 3 for you. For your
Yeah,
dex
no, I'm
check.
dropping to the floor.
Okay. So
Oh,
you're basically
gosh.
letting go.
One.
In that case, go ahead and make a tumble check to see if you land without injuring yourself from a 10-foot drop onto concrete floor. And it won't be too difficult. There you go.
Okay.
Right, you basically drop to the floor and kind of roll and tumble. And you watch as you're aware, and you kind of see this thing disappear up through the holes in the ceiling. And it kind of keeps going up and up and up and up.
Well, we lost Racia.
After probably about 60 or so seconds, eventually it comes to you kind of appear through the final level, and you appear in a circular room with this strange guy looking at you with one hand on this weird-looking lever. And he says, "What happened to your friend?"
She got cocky.
I'm a little tongue-tied
Can
right
you
now.
put it back
so-
down?
He
Yeah.
says, "Yes, it's not the first time that someone's distrusted my contraption." He says, "Well, come out."
Well, you could put some like plants or something around here. Maybe some flowers.
Plant.
Look a little more welcoming.
Spruce the thing up a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, it
He
looks
said-
like a jail.
I
I don't
walk
blame
out.
her. I walk out too.
Okay. As soon as you do that, he just like pulls the lever, and you hear like clank, 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 and Racia, you can see this thing crashing back down towards you.
I will not
Obviously,
be underneath.
obviously, you're not going to be standing underneath it. It
No
comes
problem.
grinding to the bottom again, and the gate lifts up, and he goes, "Are you coming?"
Yes, sir.
Alrighty. So you get inside. Basically, it takes you to the top of the tower. Once you're at the top, as you come through, the fellow is standing there in his elaborate aqua green robes. You notice that they match his eyes perfectly. There's arcane paraphernalia all over the place. There's like a mummified corpse on a rack on the far side of the room. There's papers, weird-looking stuff all over the place.
Kind of in heaven by all the arcaneness around me.
Right. It's definitely some kind of, it's the sort of thing you'd expect to find from somebody with arcane studies. Obviously, Kia, this is all somewhat new to you because all of your power comes from within you. You haven't had to spend years studying books and learning. So once you're there, he says, okay, so apparently you're wanting to pester me with some problem. Would you like to go ahead and tell me what it is?
Yes, Ashlyn. I kind of step forward a bit and I say, I heard you know about curses.
Curses? Some of them. I've been known to place some. I've been known to remove some. Are you wanting me to curse somebody, or are you wanting me to cure somebody of a curse?
Cure. We have a marking, and none of us remember how we got it, and we are hoping you'd be able to help us.
Oh, I see. So you want me to take a look at this marking? Is that it?
Yes.
Well, let's see it. I haven't got all day.
I look at Radovan, like to make sure he's okay with showing his marking.
I nod and
I look at Racia.
Okay, so Racy is already pulling her sleeve up and showing her strange mark. Okay, Radovan. So all of you basically display this. He kind of looks at you all with a squinty eye and, interesting. And you say you don't remember how you got this?
Nope, all three of us woke up in the same place. We didn't come from the same town, but we were all taken and brought here, and none of us remember how we got it.
Very interesting. And you think it's a curse? Is that what you're saying?
That's all I can think. It's definitely magical. Has magical properties about it.
Oh, it does. He said, and you know this how?
Listen. I step forward. This chick, she blew up, all right? She had this market. She was drunk. It's not the drinking that was the problem. We watched her explode from the inside out, all stemming from this damn thing.
He said, very interesting. And she had this mark as well, did she?
Yes, she did.
Yes, it definitely all stemmed from the mark. The mark turned blue. The blue went up her veins. She exploded, and then the blue turned red back to blood.
He says, well then, I suppose you want me to try and see if I can remove this mark. Is that why you're here? Or just,
of course.
Or do you want to keep it, and you just want me to tell you what it is?
Well, both.
Does it look like we want to keep this?
He said, and I'm supposed to do this out of the kindness of my heart. Is that it? No, you know what? He said, I'm curious enough at this point. He said, may I have a volunteer?
I'll step forward.
Okay. He kind of grabs hold of your hand and pulls your arm stretched. He goes, now, don't move. This won't hurt. Okay, as Ashlyn holds his hands out and begins to chant a few words in his arcane tongue, the tattoo begins to glow a faint blue.
My eyes widen.
I step back.
Okay. He seems in deep thought and concentration as he passes his hands over your arm. The marks begin to grow stronger, and you begin to feel some kind of strange tingling in your arm. Then the tingling begins to move into your chest, down your legs, across into your other hand, and starts to drift up your neck. At this point, there's now some discomfort in your forearm, which is rather quickly replaced by some moderate pain.
Is this supposed to be hurting?
Okay, he seems to have been lost in like his,
Kia.
concentration. The pain then also begins to radiate throughout your body as the glow begins to get more and more intense.
Kia!
Suddenly,
I look up
Ashland
and,
Maine pulls back
push him off
suddenly
her.
and opens his arms, or opens his eyes, and the pain and the tingling immediately stops.
Okay.
And he kind of looks at you, and then he kind of glances at the marking again, like grabbing your arm and like pulling it right to him to get a much better look. And then he looks at all three of you and says, "Now, isn't that interesting?"
What?
What
us.
just
Oh.
happens?
He said, "I can indeed shed some light on your predicament." He said, "But as I said before, I'm supposed to do this out of the kindness of my heart."
Oh, well, what do you want? Gold? Food?
He said, "I have no need for gold or food. But my arcane art and the information that I've just attained do come at a price. I believe I may have found a possible cure for the malady that affects Saramorn. But to do this, I need the seeds from a very rare plant, almost a mystical plant, in fact. The plant is known by some as the six-finger plant. By others, it's known as hexabalm.
Hexabalm.
Raisa, you have actually, with your, even though you have basic herbalist knowledge, you've heard of it.
Can you spell that for me?
Hexabalm, Hexembalm, also known as the six-finger plant. He says, it's said to bloom, blossom, and die all within 12 hours. And it does this situated around the height of a full moon. It's extremely hard to find and almost impossible to harvest.
Of course.
But whoa. Okay. How do we know you even gleaned anything from this? I imagine you now want us to go on this wild goose chase for this mystical herb, and then you tell us some information, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
How can you even know that you can heal us?
No. Look, I'm going to need something up front to even consider going out there.
He says, look, trust me. He said, first of all, do these marks naturally glow? Have you seen them glow before when you're just walking around? No. He said, I've scribed some information. He said, but I don't do things for free. He said, I don't do anything for anybody for free. He said, especially not right now, when I believe that you are not only in a position to help yourselves, but in a position to help the whole of Saramorn. But I don't know any of you. You're strangers. He said, I could tell you this information and you're gone. What do you care about Saramorn? No. Trust me. If what you said is true, and after finding out what I've just found out, I believe it is, your lives are in danger. Now,
if you care so much at Saramor, how hard have you tried finding this plant?
He said, believe me, I have looked. The problem is...
why do you think we will fare better than you?
He says, honestly, I don't know that you will. I'm hoping that maybe you know more about this plant than I do. After all, you are worldly traveled, or allegedly. He said, I know for a fact that this girl here, I'm a mere 49 years old. Yet this elf has probably lived over 100 years. To her people, this may be something much more common.
Okay. Listen, you don't know me. And up until a few days ago, I didn't know these two chicks, right? I will tell you this. There is a very nice and lovely lady in the tavern. Her name is Cassandra. I met her today. I do not want her to get sick and die. I also do not want to get sick and die. I definitely don't want to be in these two people's company anymore. Because, look at their ears. Look at their disposition. So, how about you give me a little bit of information? We'll be a little diplomatic, right? We'll have some diplomacy. And then maybe I'll consider doing this for you.
He says, okay. He said, it's really this simple. You came to me asking me to help you. if you don't want my help, that's fine. I'll find somebody else to go and find this plant. He
I'm
said,
just asking
but
for a little bit of information.
he said, like what? That
Like
I've
what you just found out about this weird tattoo.
I'll tell you this, that if you don't get it removed, your fate is going to be the same as the other person's, and much sooner than you think.
How
I
soon?
put
do
my
you-
hand on Radovan's shoulder to try and stop him.
Oh, I'm so ready to punch this wizard.
He says,
Right,
exactly how long, honestly, I don't know. He
So
said,
I'm gonna
but,
say, I'm gonna kind of interject and say, so tell me more about this plant.
he says, well, as I've already said, it only it apparently blooms, blossoms, and dies within 12 hours, which makes it difficult to find in the first place. Apparently, you also have to know the correct way to harvest it, which I don't know much about herbalism. He said, I
Ah.
don't dabble with herbs. I don't mess with herbs. He said, that's not my forte. He said, I do know that we have a full moon in 6 days. And if you can find and bring me the seeds from this plant, I will not only cure this town, but I will tell you whatever you want to know that I have found out about this mine. He said, look at it this way. You help yourselves. You help save an entire town. He said, you claim to have an interest in this Cassandra girl. He said, did anybody tell you that the tonic is starting to last less and less and less time? The first time that people took the tonic, it lasted for months. Then less and less. He said, the last time that they took the tonic, he said, was 3 weeks ago. He said, the tonic is becoming less effective. It's only a matter of time before this tonic isn't going to work anymore.
Have you spoken to the locals about these seeds or anybody in town?
He says, no, I haven't.
Do you guys have a local herbalist?
No, we do not. The closest herbalist is about 1 or 2 days' ride south of here, and he's old and sick.
When
Can
did...
you
sorry,
point
go
us
ahead.
into any kind of direction? Like, do you have any clue where we can start looking?
I honestly don't. But
Does Race, do I know anything about this herb? Have I ever heard of it? Do I know how to harvest it?
you do remember hearing about it years and years ago. Mostly, it's kind of a rumor about this plant, nothing solid, like, does it really even exist? But it is said to only grow on rocky ground, and some say that only where blood has been spilled. It's some kind of weird...
Oh, jeez.
Ugh.
And how many seeds does he need?
3.
So we have to find 3 different plants, or just one plant, 3
No,
seeds?
one plant should easily give you the 3 seeds you need.
Look at Radovan and Racia trying to say, can we talk about this alone before we say yes to this guy?
Where?
By all means, take your time. I mean, after all, it's just your lives at stake.
What, by the corpse? You want to go by the corpse and talk?
Let's go by the freaking corpse.
I'm just gonna ask the Ashlyn if he's infected with the disease, with the...
He said, I would be.
And why aren't you?
What?
He says, because I use most of my ability to cast a spell on myself every day to fend it off. He said, I am infected. He said, I'm just able to resist, resist the side effects or the symptoms. He said, but of course, if I'm the one laying around sick, who else is going to go out and do the research and has spent the last 6 months trying to find how to help these people?
Mm-hmm.
He said, I'm not here to make them feel better. I'm not here to improve their mood. He said, I've been working my ass off for 6 solid months trying to find a cure for this thing, and I finally think I've done it. The sad part is, I'm not in a position to go wandering looking for this damn thing.
I'm gonna kind of like step in front of the group now and like speak to Ashlyn a little more earnestly. and I'm going to speak like almost as you would to a friend, not a stranger.
Okay.
And I'm going to say to him, I think that I can find this plant, and I want to help your town, as well as helping myself.
He
So
said,
if
I personally believe in helping myself. He said, I don't have a problem helping others. He said, so I understand where you come from. He said, if it wasn't for the fact that I lived here and I've made my home here for the last 8 years, I probably wouldn't care about these people either. But the fact of the matter is, I don't feel like moving. I don't like the fact that me trying to get anybody to come here to talk to trade with, is becoming more and more impossible. Once people come here, they find out what's going on. People don't come back. He said, I would love to just have this place cured, not because I care, but because it would be more convenient for me.
And then I'm going to ask him to share with me the locations he's already checked, where he thinks would be the proper, because he knows the lay of the land. I'm going to share with him the information that I know about it only apparently growing on rough ground if he didn't already know that. And I'm just
Right.
going to have a conversation with him, like a good,
Gotcha.
trying to gather as much
Reaching
information
towards
that I
race,
can,
yeah.
like a teamwork, tell us where you've gone so we don't go over the same places. Like, time is of the essence.
Okay. He
I'm
says
inching towards
that,
Risa because I think I'm starting to consider doing this as well.
okay.
Consider.
He says that he only found out the information I gained yesterday was what led me to understand that I needed this plant. So I haven't looked anywhere. He said, I went yesterday, I talked to a colleague that refused to come to town. I had to meet him an entire day's ride so that he didn't come here and risk getting infected. We had a discussion. He told me about that this is the missing piece to this puzzle. And here I am. You know as much as I do right now. He said, I've got everything else taken care of. He said, I know the incantation. I know the ritual. He said, I have all the ingredients but this one. I haven't got a clue where this thing grows. He said, I know nothing about this plant.
I'm going to ask him about the lay of the land and where there's rough ground where blood has been spilled.
Radovan, you could also, if you want, you could make a local. You could either make a history roll. Because I mean, if you're
I'm
hearing
by the
this
corpse.
conversation,
Yeah, I know, and I guess I will because.
I mean, you either know or you don't. You don't have to stop
right.
and go. Let me think. Do I? Yeah. So go ahead and make a history check. Local history and see what you know.
I have local as well. Can I do that?
Yeah, of course you can.
Sure.
Anyone would. Oh, look at the
Nice.
man. Okay.
I'm by the corpse, and I overheard them, so I'm shouting this across the way
Right.
because I am not happy with the situation.
Okay. Radovan, yes. You do know some things that might. First of all, knowing, the area. You heard earlier that this was a fortress at one point that was there during the Orc Wars. And west of here, not far from the main road, is an area called the Field of Sorrow, where a huge battle took place. On the other side of the Field of Sorrow is the Grey Spire Mountains, where the orcs were. So there's a very good chance that if there's mountains there and there was a huge battle, quite possibly there's an area there where blood was spilt and there's plenty of rocky terrain. And it is about 5 days from here. 5 days travel, which means you could actually get there, and amazingly,
Right
the very
before
next day
the-
would be full moon. So you could possibly do that if this plant even exists. Because Racia, you're not convinced it does. It's like one of them old wives' tales. You've never seen it. You've never actually heard anybody use it or employ it. But
Suddenly my senses kick in and I say, I'm gonna do it. I decided.
For a cast,
I would like
will
to help
save
this
them
town.
all. Alrighty, okay, cool. He says, so you're interested then? He said, I'm
Yes,
sure
I went to Racia.
I'm sure that this has nothing to do with you helping the town. I get that feeling from you that you're here in it for yourselves. He said, trust me, I can help you. To some degree. He said, I will tell you this so that there's no misconceptions. I can't remove it. It's not that simple. But I can tell you what you need to know to get it removed, and I can tell you what effects it will have on you, and some things that maybe you can do to offset the thing.
It's good enough for me.
Let's do it. Whatever.
He said, I just want to make sure that no one thinks that you're going to come back here and I'm going to wave a hand and the marks and the tattoos are going to magically disappear and everyone's happy. He said, so I'll tell you what I know, and it will be something you need. He said, also, I'll throw this in. Should you manage to find any additional seeds, I will pay you 50 gold crowns for each seed above the first 3 that you can bring me.
I bet Radovan's a little bit more interested.
I look at the dead corpse, trying to figure out what the hell it's doing there and what it's used for.
Well, basically, the corpse is like opened up; it's pinned, so it's like it's showing
It's like
you.
an anatomy thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's an anatomy thing, exactly. Except it's like putrefied.
Well, then I return to the group and I shrug and say, "Your call, ladies."
Well, you already know what I said. I'm
Yep.
doing it without you or not.
With or without me.
Yes.
So if I stayed in this town, you'd still do it, and
And you wouldn't. I would not tell you any of the information.
Ooh.
That would be your loss.
I see. Okay. Well,
So in a way,
I guess you're
still
stuck with me
kinda
then.
need you.
Yeah, you're stuck with me then.
Okay.
I'm going to tell them that I would like to have a chat with them before we leave in our endeavor.
Alrighty.
Okay, sure. Yeah, let's
Yeah.
go back to the corpse. I mean, that's what I was waiting for.
I would like to be out of the
Corpse
tower.
height.
You want out of the tower? I don't
Out
blame
of the
you.
tower? Okay.
Oh.
Get back in the little contraption.
Goodbye, Ashlyn.
He says, "Well, hopefully, I'll see you in a week or so."
I grunt.
Have
And I'm
fun
going to
sitting in your
look at
tower as we search for a magical plant.
I'm going to look at him in all earnesty and thank him.
Okay. He says, "Well, I'm hoping that I can assist you. In fact, I know I can to some degree." He said, "I honestly wish I could remove it." He said, "I'll give you guys this piece of information for free. Whoever put this here is a far more powerful wizard than I am. A far more powerful wizard than I know." He said, there are so many different incantations and magics that work here. I would almost have to believe that this was the work of some kind of team of wizards.
Wow. Who heard this? The Just Race guy?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, did we all hear it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So, okay, so you and he basically he bids you good day. He says, "Okay, I'll see you as soon as you can. Good luck on your endeavor. I hope you don't die."
and off we go.
And you head
Thanks,
out the
hope
town.
you don't
Okay.
die in your old age as well.
So you're back outside his tower, basically, at this point.
What time of day is it?
It is mid-afternoon.
Oh man,
Did you miss it?
frickin' mages.
So
Yeah,
I would
they
like
talk,
to chat
they
with you
talk.
guys.
What's up,
Maybe
Ursa?
get some lunch and chat.
Sure.
I bet, yeah. Let's go to the tavern.
Okay. Also, you
Chit-chat.
guys might want to consider that if this thing is like 6 days travel from here, or 5 or 6 days, do you really think... Shervin, thanks for the follow, man. Do you actually think you guys want to hoof it, or do you want to maybe talk about reacquiring that horse and carts?
Well, I want to talk to them in the inn.
That's what we do. We're gonna have a talk. Let's have a
Okay,
talk.
so you head to the inn. Do you want? Are you like wanting a secret squirrel talk up in your rooms?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Yes.
You want food brought up?
Room talk.
Probably.
Well, there's good news and bad news, guys. The good news is that once you get there, the special today is like yesterday you had the roast boar. Today they've basically slaughtered an entire cow, and they've got ginormous, like 24-ounce thick, juicy steaks that they're serving
Yeah,
up.
now we're talking.
You know. So the food is excellent. The bad news, however, Cass is off for the day, and guess who's filling her slot?
Oh no!
Sandy!
Yay!
Crazy Techno 101. Thanks for the follow.
I visibly snicker as
Oh,
well.
you're still here, are you?
Hey, where's Cass? Where does she live in this village?
She gets up at noon. Oh, like I tell you, you bloody pervert.
Yeah.
You're old enough to be a father, you nonce. Go on, off with you.
Off with you. Off with me. Off with you. Get out of here.
You know, well, that's fine. Why don't you serve your damn self, you annoying, obnoxious wretch from out of town?
Yeah,
I'm sick and tired of your sort.
When we save your ass, we'll wait and see what happens. All right? Because we're gonna save your ass.
He says, "Oh, got arses on the brain, have you? Obsessed with Cassandra. Next thing you'll be talking about wanting me to serve you up some nice breasts of chicken or something like that. Oh, no, your silly innuendos doesn't flatter me, sir. Walking around with your armour looking all posh and big
Like
and
a steak,
muscly."
please. I interject.
Says, "Oh, yes, madam. No problem at all. Steak, I'll give you. Steak, you." She kind of wanders off, cursing Radovan under her breath.
I curse her back in kind and under my breath,
Guys,
and then Then I bless the food and do the blessing.
guys,
There you
we need to make some decisions very quickly.
Okay.
Here's my
Sure.
take on this.
What are you thinking, Rachel?
This seed that he speaks of, I've heard of it once before, but it's one of those things that you hear of and it's like an old wives' tale. Nobody knows for sure if it exists. I don't know if we can make it in time for what he says, but something I want to consider with you guys. Do we need to do this? He said he was a young wizard. He's only 49. Practicing the magical arts. We could probably find another wizard who knows just as much as he does. Is it worth wasting the time to find these seeds that I don't even know exist? Or should we just move along and see if we can find a new wizard?
Need to consider what you're saying here. Where can we find better wizard? We don't know if we're gonna find any wizard out there.
Or
It might take longer to find a wizard than to find these magical seeds. Radovan?
I don't know what to think. I don't trust the magical types anyway. It's not magic from Cuthbert, you know? But if we're just going to wander this world looking for a better wizard, you know, we don't even know how long that lady had the tattoo and died.
It feels like less of a plan than just, like, having seeds to find feels more concrete than trying to find
Seeds
any
that we
other
don't
wizard
even know
that's
exist.
older than 49.
You guys, I study herbology, and I have never met anybody who's actually held and or seen these seeds.
I mean, you don't know that they don't exist,
No, we don't.
but it's just, again, it's like one of those, you know, I just know that you've heard about them, you've heard people discuss it, but it's kind of like a far-fetched tale, you know, a plant that grows, basically blooms and dies in 12 hours, and it only grows on rocks, and it only grows where everything contradicts the natural order of things, but he also did tell you that he believes that it is a mystical plant of sorts.
What if we head to the location, keeping our eye out for other options? So at least we're going in the general direction, and apparently we need to make haste, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Make haste! Yes.
At the same time, if we see a wizard, or if we run into that weirdo on the hill that almost, you know, birded us to death, you know, we can pursue the other options, like as they are presented.
Well, then I say we go to the mayor and ask him for horses, provisions, and anything else that we think we might need, and we head out.
I like that idea.
Alrighty.
I do.
All right,
I mean-
that's what we do then.
You agree?
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do it.
All right. Okay, guys. Well, that brings us pretty much to the end of our session today. Hi, I'm Gorbad, the Dungeon Master on How Reroll. If you'd like to follow my personal channel, it's twitch.tv/Gorbad, or on my other social media, @Gorbad for Twitter, or @GorbadTV for YouTube.
Hi guys, I'm Bane. You want to hang out with me some more? You can find me on twitch.tv/Bane1271, Twitter @Bane1271, or Facebook and YouTube under Bane Blackstar. See you guys soon.
Hello, my name is Shagget, and I play Radovan Rainier, a cleric on How Reroll. You can follow me on www.twitch.tv/Shagget.
Hey, I'm Jane. You can follow me on my personal channel at twitch.tv/JaneIvana, or if you'd like on my Twitter at JaneOnTwitch with a 0, not an O. Peace.